Howdy, fellas, and welcome back to Cringe Confessional, the cringiest show on the internet. I set up an anonymous forum online where people could send me their cringiest stories anonymously. I don't know who sent it, and I never will. And now they're in Twitch chat, and I'm gonna read some of them to you. These are the worst moments in people's lives, and now I get to experience them with all these people. Say hi, everyone. I can't wait! And now you get to be part of the fun. Let's confess to some cringe, shall we?
When I was in college, a close friend of mine's father unexpectedly passed away.
That's sad.
I hadn't talked to my friend in a while because we were closest in high school. And on top of that, I am very uncomfortable with the concept of death. I did all right when comforting my old friend, but where I went wrong was when I was speaking to his mother while next to the open casket.
Okay.
She asked how I had been doing, and with sweat in my palms, the only thing I could think to say was "I'm living," while we were both only a foot or two away from her dead husband's body.
It sounds like you're flexing or propositioning. I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing okay, unlike some people.
Luckily, my family was also there, and the conversation continued as if nothing happened.
Oh, God bless dear old dad.
Later on, however, my family told me they all heard what I said and were actively trying to keep the conversation
That's a good
rolling.
family. Excellent.
This is possibly the most embarrassing moment of my life.
Possibly? It has to be. Yes. You were standing next to... You stood next to a widow and flexed on her dead husband. Like, he's watching from the ceiling, like in the cartoons, just mad as hell. Steam coming out of his ears.
January 2020. Sophomore year of high school. I've just turned 15.
Right.
I remember one of my friend's birthdays is
Wait a
coming
minute. 2020, 15 years old. Oh my God.
I remember that he's talked before about how his dad is kind of a piece of shit.
All right.
I asked him about it. He opens up, vents to me about all the terrible things his dad has done to him and his family.
Oh, jeez.
And it's a lot. Now, at this time, I had just finished playing Persona 5.
Oh my God, no, we gotta cancel this story. Can I cancel this one? Can I skip this? Oh, he's gonna change his heart.
And my stupid ass starts thinking, wow, my friend's dad kind of sounds like a villain from Persona 5.
Okay,
I'm all
yeah.
hyped up on this shit.
Right.
So I ask him what his dad's name
He
is.
gets hyped up on this shit. Oh, let's go. I get to be Joker in real life. I'm gonna be on the Phantom Thieves!
I made a goddamn Persona 5 calling card addressed to his dad, saying that the Phantom Thieves are going to steal his heart.
Okay. We're laughing at this, but imagine if you're that dad. You don't know what the fuck the Phantom Thieves are. You think there's like a gang in the city. This is pretty bad. Alright, what happened next?
I send him the picture, and say that his dad is just like a P5 villain. He's a nice guy, so he's just like, oh, that's cool I guess, and continues on like nothing happened.
This poor fucking guy. Yeah, my dad hits me, and he says awful things to me and my mom constantly, and he drinks every night and falls asleep on the couch at 4 p.m. Wow, just like in the anime I play! Don't worry, I'll fix him! And the guy's like, oh, cool, okay, maybe it'll work. Therapy didn't.
Around 3 years later, we're still friends, and we're talking in a Discord server full of mutual friends. We both remember the calling card addressed to his dad. I'm about to DM him and ask him not to bring it up, because at this point, I'm extremely embarrassed by it because it was a really shitty thing to say to a friend.
No, don't do it.
Don't
do
it.
Oh, no.
Conversation. Naturally, I'm mortified. I don't even try to defend myself. I'm nearing 20 now, and I'm still getting made fun of for it on a regular basis.
I would call you Joker forever. If you're in chat right now, do not reveal yourself. I would make sure that everybody knew that you were Joker at all times. I was gonna say, you gotta, like, when you do something this embarrassing, you gotta pray your friend dies. Just, like, that secret has to go down, and nobody can know about it. You have to pray to God, like, please, just let the only other witness to this just vanish from the earth. You need to max out his social link. I know chat is dying at that message. You just made half the chat die of laughter. But not me, though. I don't get it.
As a kid, I could never sleep very well and just pretended to a lot of the time.
Kids do
Around the
pretend to
time I
sleep a
started
lot.
getting
Right.
interested in video games was also the time my brothers were playing through Majora's Mask.
Old chatter.
But
Had
my
a young chatter,
parents
now we got an
didn't
old
want
chatter.
me to
That's
play
good.
it because it's a dark game.
It is.
Well, wouldn't you know it? I simply did not sleep one night
Oh,
and found
no.
my way to the N64 in the basement.
Oh.
I booted up the game the same way I saw my brothers do and picked the save file with the most play time.
Does he get really scared and scream and cry, or does he delete the save?
I started the game. It was the final hour of the third night. All I could figure out was the camera, so I looked up and saw the moon crashing down
Oh
towards
my
me.
god, I would
I panicked
scream.
and unplugged the extension cord that powered both the
Yep.
TV and
Me too.
N64 and tried to go back to my room.
Me too. Dude, for me, it was the Moon Melee Trophy, and I was older than you. Horrifying, man. That moon is scary. They should not have done that.
I make my way to the
Okay.
stairs using a wall I found after crawling, barely not crying even at this point.
Right.
I stand up leaning against the wall, take a step, and immediately land on a mouse trap.
That is objectively the funniest thing you could have stepped on. it could have been a Lego. It could have been a Matchbox car, like a fire truck. I don't know. It could have been anything. Ouch!
The Looney Tunes ass scream I let out woke up all three of my older brothers as well as both of my parents. This is my first conscious memory.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good. That's a big fat youch.
To start out the year was 2011. My older brother and I were on our way to pick up our sister from gymnastics practice.
Okay.
While on the way, I ask if he had a phone charger and he hands me a cord. After connecting my phone to the charger, I suddenly see the screen on the dashboard say iPhone connected, and I knew I fucked up. Immediately the car went from no music at all to playing the last media that was on my phone.
Okay, I'm gonna say this before we get into it. Storytelling tonight, off the charts.
And of course, lucky me had forgotten to close Safari the night before. Hentai started blasting, and my 13-year-old self immediately panicked trying to rip the cable from the phone, but it had a latch. And on the dashboard screen it showed the title of the video and the website too.
I love BigTittyHarems.com. Check it out. Dude, those hentai titles are crazy too. They're like a paragraph long.
I begged my brother to not tell anyone, but I knew he would break that promise.
Yes, he would, obviously.
1 week later during dinner at home, my brother tells the same story to my family, making my mother cry, and my dad laughed his ass off. He didn't know what hentai was, so when my brother
Your mom's
described it
crying.
as porn drawings, my dad turned to me and asked why I was watching SpongeBob porn.
Holy shit, man. Holy shit. Holy shit, man. Dad, who has never seen an anime in his life, just thinks of the first cartoon he could think of is SpongeBob, man. It's Sandy. You're watching Sandy porn. You have to be. Holy shit, man.
I haven't been able to live this down and still gets brought up every family gathering.
Every family gathering? Every birthday, every Christmas, every day. Lay off, guys. Mom cries every time. What a terrible... Dude, it can happen in an instant, too. That's the scariest thing. This shit could happen to you at a moment's notice and change your life forever. Tomorrow is never guaranteed.
Let me start by saying I am still in high school, and midterms were just a couple of weeks ago.
When in high school?
Once I finished one of my tests, my teacher let me go use the restroom next door because it
Pee
was
story,
so close.
pee or poop, call it.
I was kinda stressed at the moment.
It's
since
poop,
I
stress.
had already completed a couple
Got the
difficult
bubble
tests
guts.
that day. During this time, I heard someone come into the restroom. The person goes into the stall next to me. and
Oh, I thought
keep
that person was
scrolling
really
on
going
my
to try to get
phone.
in. Never mind.
After about a minute, I began to hear something, like a faint clapping sound coming from the stall next to me. The color probably drained from my face once I realized what he was doing. I decided to not let this happen. I put both my feet down onto the
No,
ground and
dude.
cleared my throat, hoping that he would realize what he
No,
is doing
no.
is wrong or something.
Don't reveal
Little
yourself.
Did I know this was possibly the worst mistake I could make.
Yes, you don't reveal yourself, man. Let him finish. Dude, are you serious? Just let it go. Okay, all right. What happened then?
Unfortunately, I am somewhat of a shoe geek, and I was wearing some custom green Air Force 1 second at the time that cost me about $250.
Uh-huh.
This man had the audacity to notice me, stop jerking off, compliment my shoes, and then keep going in. I left there and then and never figured out who it was.
Holy fucking shit. Omega Chad. He knows who you are, but you will never know who he is. He knows that you tried to stop him from doing it. You got mogged from a stall away. That is unbelievable. He won the engagement. Because you have no idea who that guy is, right? You just know a guy jacked off in the toilet. But he knows when he sees those green Air Force Ones, he's like, that guy really tried to stop me. I'll never let him know. But it will change our interactions.
When I was a senior in high school, I worked a part-time job at this math tutoring company.
Was it Kuban?
One time, this pair of 5th grade friends, Ryan and Macy, sat at my table and the girl brought in Hubba Bubba tape gum.
Right.
Ryan asked if he
didn't
could have
pop a
a
grade.
piece, but Macy was reluctant to give him any of it. When Macy looked away for a moment, Ryan grabbed the whole tape of gum, crushed it into one giant ball, and shoved it down his throat.
What the fuck? Ryan, you're not even chewing it. You're just eating it like a duck.
As Ryan was apologizing for
You're gonna
stealing from
die,
Macy,
man.
we heard him go whack.
Yeah.
And he started choking on the gum.
I bet he did.
Macy frantically looked at me and said, "You've got to do something." I thought of 3 options, but was hesitant to do any
That's
of
more than what I thought
them.
of.
The first option was to call 911.
They wouldn't get there in time.
The third option
Heimlich,
was to
yes.
perform the Heimlich maneuver.
I mean,
but
it's
I
gum,
don't want
though.
to put my hands on a student without their consent, because another instructor got in trouble a month earlier for doing so.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I gotta let him die. You gotta let him die, I guess. If he can't, he's choking. He can't say anything back. Sign this form. Here you go.
So I twiddled my thumbs for a couple minutes, hoping the situation would resolve itself as Macy is beginning to cry seeing Ryan choke.
Maybe he'll blow like a really big bubble. Maybe he'll get like a big...
After 2 minutes, I tell Macy how to perform the Heimlich maneuver on Ryan, but it doesn't work.
After 2 minutes? Listen, I'm not touching him, but here's how you do it. Can I touch you? I'll touch you, and then I'll show you, and then you do it to him. Can't he consent, like, nod yes? What the fuck is that? Ryan's gonna die. That's how this started. Anyway, Ryan died. Thanks for the great content. Love the stream.
I tell Macy to lead Ryan to the bathroom so that he can try to throw it up.
Oh my god.
The bathroom light was off and the door was unlocked. So I tell
Oh
Macy to
no,
open
but the
the
girl can't
door.
go into the boys' bathroom with him! Oh no! So many rules!
However, I had to quickly escort Ryan and Macy out of the bathroom
Oh
since
my
we
God.
realized that a 3rd grader was actually using
What
the
a
bathroom.
nightmare! This is
Once
like a
the third-
Papa Is You puzzle.
Once the 3rd grader left, Macy leaned Ryan's head over the toilet and began punching the shit out of the backside of Ryan's
Oh
neck.
hell yeah, brute
He
force it.
spat out the gun 5 minutes later, and the two
5
returned to their
minutes?
desk utterly traumatized.
Dude, Ryan got good lungs. Ryan was choking on that gum for like 20 minutes. I think Ryan was faking it for attention. Ryan just really wanted you to Heimlich him, I think. If I was Ryan, I'd be mad as hell. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna let me die? Who cares if you get fired? I'm gonna die. Part of it is natural selection, though. What the fuck? Why would Ryan do that? Do you guys know how much gum that is if you put it all in a ball? Macy tried to save him from that. She knew that he couldn't help himself.
During my first year of university, I desperately wanted to get a girlfriend.
Who doesn't?
I was a gamer and a weird anime nerd in high school.
Right.
So when I started university, I wanted to reinvent myself.
Good idea. Good time to do
I
it.
thought getting a girlfriend would push me to become adventurous and cool.
Yeah.
One day, I ran into a girl I barely knew from high school. She recognized me while I was out getting lunch, and she started the conversion by saying,
Okay.
"Wow, you got swole."
Not bad. What do you
Fellas,
counter?
I'll never forget those words.
Uh-huh.
We would send memes to each other for about a week before I asked her out through Facebook.
Uh-huh.
The thing about Facebook is that you can have multiple chat windows open at the same time.
Right.
On the day I asked her out, my anime nerd friends were talking about their waifus in our group chat.
Oh, dear.
I had both the girl I asked out and my weird nerd group chat open at the same time. My degenerate ass thought it would be funny to type, "Robin is my waifu." I bet I could fap to her before my roommate comes back from his class. Should I risk it? Well, the thing is, I sent that message to the wrong open chat window.
That girl got saved. Yeah, this was God sending an angel to that poor girl. This is divine intervention. This would freak me out as a girl. Oh, what do you even say? There's no way. Dude, you said the word waifu. All she has to do is one Google search, and then she's like, oh, I'm never speaking to this guy again. You said fap, too? Is there a worse string of sentences he could have said? There are 3 bodies in my garage. I think that would have been a little bit more acceptable.
She stopped replying to my messages after that. And the next semester, I transferred to a different university.
Oh, man. That's the end of the story. Life can change in an instant. That's all I'm learning tonight. Tonight is the tale of just, like, immediate change. Just at a moment's notice, one mistake just completely shifts the trajectory of your life. That's fucked up.
I'm going to say before this starts, bless my mom for still keeping me after this happened.
Keeping you? What the fuck did you do?
When I was 5, I lived in a pretty shitty neighborhood, but we knew our neighbor pretty well.
Sell you?
They had a boy and a little kiddie pool in their backyard, so during the summer I'd end up there pretty often.
That's nice.
It's another really hot summer day, and my mom had put me for a nap. I don't really know how, but I snuck out of my room and into the neighbor's yard in their pool.
Right.
I only actually swam for like 15 minutes before I got out and changed my clothes because they were wet. The only problem was I didn't actually bring a change of clothes.
That's an issue.
Just a towel.
Right.
My next great idea came when I got hungry after the dip and went to go get some candy. So I start walking to the convenience store. That's another 15 minutes away.
Okay. Okay. That took quite a turn. A 5-year-old who's like, damn, I kind of want, I need a Kit Kat now. Naked 5-year-old? Like, do you have clothes or is it just you're wearing the wet clothes? I like some of your finest candy. Yeah, do you know how stores work now?
This store being in a rough neighborhood almost always has a guard at the door.
Okay.
But I guess that day they didn't.
No bouncer?
I walked up to the counter, grabbed a coffee crisp, and left.
Okay. Like a duck getting bread.
My mom says the cashier didn't even call the cops.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
They just watched it happen and thought nothing
I'd
of
be
it.
like, damn, that kid needs
now
it.
I'm starting to head home.
I would let you get away with it.
Surprisingly,
Oh, no.
It made me really tired.
Uh-oh,
I
nap
actually made
time.
it most of the way home.
Time to sleep on the sidewalk.
Only missing one turn before a police cruiser comes to pick me up.
Right.
Now, at some point during this story, I lost my towel.
Where? What do you mean at some point? Do you not know was it before or after the store? Naked 5-year-old on a 15-minute journey to get a coffee crisp.
I wish I could go back and see the looks on the cops' face when they saw a naked child drenched in water and covered in something brown just walking down the middle of the street in July.
I didn't consider the fact that he was eating the crisp and he's wet. So it's probably chocolate every... Oh, man. What a side quest. You got away with it, though. Where was the adult here? Like, if your mom's at work or whatever, there had to be one adult. I guess you stuck out. Never mind. It's blameless. We're fine. It's cool.
When I was about 5 years old, I think, I had a Zoobooks subscription.
Okay, love zoo books.
Zoobooks, as it turns out, takes a very clinical approach to all aspects of animal life, including reproduction.
Oh!
And me, being 5 years old, did not know that mating and courting were 2 different things.
Right?
Imagine my parents' surprise when I asked them to consider making invitations for my mating party that, I think in my 5-year-old mind, was going to be a rigged version of The Bachelorette, so that I could ask a girl out. At 5 years old. Anyways, that's how I ended up getting the talk while I was in 1st grade or whatever.
That's the end of the story. I mean this with all of my heart. This might be my favorite person that ever submitted a story. This is a very creative kid. This is a very creative, inventive child coming up with a scheme to do a courting party like the animals do so I can ask a girl out. Wow, what a wise... That is a smart kid, man. Mother, I would like a mating partner, please. I would also like one for all my friends. I want to hold a party so me and all my friends can find a proper mate.
When I was 9 or 10, I was swimming at a local river. There was a guy fishing a bit further down.
Okay.
I asked him if I could get cast a couple times since I like fishing and know how to cast.
Okay.
He handed me the rod and I immediately casted his lure into a tree. I felt bad and didn't really know what to say, so I just apologized and left.
That's a great story. That's a really good story, man. That's a good-ass story. I bet that guy's gonna think about that for a long time. He thought you did that shit on purpose. Wow, that kid was a dick.
I used to be a theater kid back in middle school.
Who wasn't, right?
7th grade year, my school was doing a play called Kamikaze Kate and the Sword of Captain Carada.
What the
about
fuck?
a young girl obsessed with World War II who had the sword of a kamikaze pilot passed on to her by her veteran grandfather.
What the fuck is that? How about hairspray?
The sword, however, contained the ghost of said kamikaze pilot.
Right.
An obviously Japanese male.
Uh-huh.
Now, my theater group had 0 Asian kids. None at all.
Okay.
You might think a teacher would reconsider doing the play.
Not middle
but instead,
school.
who else would get cast of Hiroshi Karada
Oh,
other than pasty
no.
white
Did you do an
8th grade?
accent?
My teacher put me in an accurate World War II outfit, gave me orange-tinted makeup, and told me, and I quote your Elsa to pronounced, "Have you seen the Asian restaurant scene in Christmas Story?" This was for our competition one act, by the way.
Okay, as a former theater kid, let me tell you how these one acts work, okay? There used to be competitions at schools where you would put on a one act and they would pick one from every school to go out and like present to the county, which means that the best thing that your school had to show was you doing this horrifically racist World War II Japanese man impression. Like that was the best they had. Somebody's like, what the fuck is going on at that school?
So I went up looking like a racist WW2-ear Dr. Seuss depiction of a Japanese man.
Oh my god.
I remember looking dead into the eyes of one of the judges, an old Asian woman, as I went through the scene explaining my wife and son died in fucking Hiroshima. The girl playing Kate in the play won all-star actress, and I got nothing but a what the fuck was that man from an Asian kid from another school. I still don't know why they didn't just have a play with more white people.
She was lauded as a star. Kamikaze Kate, one of the greatest stars of a generation. A powerful performance, a tour de force. That kid in the orange makeup doing the racist Christmas Story accent? What the fuck was his problem? Why did he get the stage? The director is laughing their ass off backstage. Holy shit, man, you got set up.
Back in middle school, there was a kid who was really into WWE and took it one step too far.
Alright.
At that point, Chris Jericho was doing his whole list of Jericho gimmicks. For those not familiar, he would write the name of anyone who pissed him off on a list and would say, "You just made the list."
That was the whole gimmick. He would just tell people they made the list, and the crowd would get really into it. He'd be like, you know what? And everybody in the crowd is like, oh.
My classmate did that too, and for roughly 2 years he was taking names on the list.
Uh-huh.
Most were put jokingly, but at a certain point I wonder if people were genuinely just trying to piss him
Trying
off.
to make the list,
The whole
yeah.
charade came to an end when the teachers confiscated it, assuming it to be a hit list.
That kid's gonna kill someone. Look at how big this list is.
Poor dude was the source of ridicule for a while after that.
This happened in my school, but with death notes. Okay, that's different. Death notes are different. Death notes are made with the explicit purpose of killing the person you write. Chris Jericho's list is like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna pin you in the middle of the ring for the championship. I'm gonna kick your butt. Death Note is like, have a heart attack, stroke, aneurysm. They're not the same. It's not that teacher just made the list. I would definitely just make a new list.
I would like to preface this story by saying I am extremely white.
Okay.
I grew up relatively sheltered and my parents avoided me telling me things like curse words and the like.
Sure.
At some point when I was around 11, I believe I was watching a documentary about Jackie Robinson. He was talking about being called a gay word.
Right.
The problem was I had
They didn't
no
call it
idea
that back
what
then.
that meant, and my parents wouldn't tell me either.
Uh-oh!
I spent a lot of my time
He's
watching
gonna
Vine
say
compilations
it.
since this was around 2017 also. As you may guess, I picked up said game word from this. However, again, I didn't know what it meant.
Oh, this
On
is the
first
perfect
day of
storm.
School in 7th grade, I was
Oh,
talking
no.
to a kid I knew from my neighborhood. He was mixed, and I knew him somewhat well, but not super well. Towards the end of the day, I somehow ended up saying to him something that ended with me calling him my game word while attempting to dap him up.
It was to a friend, and it was soft A. I'm just saying it could have been worse. What happens next?
He stopped mid-dap and asked me, "Can you say that?" I simply replied, "Why wouldn't I be able to?" He dapped me up.
Damn, this kid's based. You all right, white boy? Okay. It's just a word, man. Why would you get offended? Okay. It's just that easy, and that's how you get the pass.
Some time later, I learned what the word meant. The problem was I also forgot about this whole event.
Oh.
I never brought it up to him, and I haven't seen him since. Gabe, if you are watching this, my bad.
Gabe, my... Should have ended it with the word. Cinema is ending that story with the word. Gabe, my bad. I'm not doing it. Gabe, my bad. I'm about to call TK to have him finish that story for me. If we've learned anything from this stream, it could have been way, way worse. And if you want to hear those worst stories, you'll have to tune in next time. Guys, thanks for tuning in to another rousing episode of Cringe Confessional. What was your favorite part of the show? Comment below. Let me know what your favorite story is. Really good bangers tonight. Honestly, kind of did some good stuff. Kind of killed it. You guys submit some good stuff, and let's give it up to the mods. Keith Frizzle, E. Compton, for doing it big on this one. Some fantastic tales once again. Goodbye, YouTube. See you next time.